those integration like Flash security in MAD 1, then we'll quickly jump into this MAD 2. Okay. So this session, this bootcamp is all about to give you a quick idea, like the overall idea, how you can complete your MAD 1 or MAD 2 project. Okay. I hope my screen is visible.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's visual.
So yesterday we were trying to implement your like Flash security too with our application, and we were stuck with the some error, attribute error. The solution for that issue was to pass the session, not the DB object in the data store. Okay. Now I'll just show you. This is the complete setup of the uh, Flash Security 2. So if you want to set up Flash Security 2 in your MAD 1 application, you can follow the standard document. Okay, I'll just show you what you can follow. Just search for the Flash Security 2 official document, and there you can uh, find the complete guidance for the for setting up this Flash Security 2 with your MAD 1 application. So like in this session, I'm going with the basic implementation of Flash Security 2. It has lots of other features and other mechanism to implement security and like other security measures that you can add in your MAD 1 application. For to keep it simple, I'll just go with the basic one. So if you'll go to this basic Flask SQL Alchemy application, okay, it has the complete guidance, what to install and how to configure this uh, Flask security to with your MAD 1 application, with your Flask application. So you set up all this configuration, and then you in the yeah initially like last day what I was doing, I was trying to create this table, and I was trying to define the some columns which is already predefined in Flash Security 2. Okay, so I'll just show you my setup. So first we install Flash Security 2, I mean Flash Security, and then we import the stuff from Flash Security and methods or object, and then in the configuration part, you mention secret key, security password salt. It's like the additional layer which will make your password encryption a bit hard. Like bit hard means not easy to guess or crack. Just remember cookie same site. Okay. It's again the recommendation from the configuration. You can see I've taken all this snippet of code from the official document. You can follow or you can read more about this configuration in the document itself. So basically, I'm restricting my application within the same site. So every request should come from the same server. Okay, I'm not allowing cross origin request. And then this security registrable is the configuration by which you can make Flash security to enable its registration in your application. And this is like reset password. Okay, so see, so far I've created. Uh, only the index HTML file and this register. Basically, this is not register. This is something else. Okay, I'll rename it. You can see the code. Okay, it has some form which asks for the name of the subject and then it's submitting. That's it. We haven't created any registration login page. And in the database, can you see? In the database, I have three columns only: ID, name, description in the role table. And in user table, I'm having ID, name, email, password, scores. Okay. Even you can ignore this password. Okay. By default, when the moment you start using Flash Security 2, it adds some attributes in your role table and user table. Okay, that's why we are inheriting this FS role mixin, FS role user mixin. Okay, so let me just show you the database. Can you see? I have this role table. A role table is having this ID, name, description, permission, update, date, time, and in the model definition, you can see there is no such columns. ID name is there. Okay, description and permissions and update date time is not there. In the user table, you can see I'm having ID, name, email, password, webauth, user handle. So there are additional columns in the table. These columns are being implemented by Flash Security 2. It doesn't matter whether you define or not. Okay. You can skip, even you can skip all these columns. Okay. And coming to this third table, yeah, there's one roles users. This table is there. But in the database, if I'll try to find this roles table, we can't find any such table. I'll just show you. See, in the database, in the model, we are having only role, user, subject, chapter, quiz, question, score. There's no roles user table. Again, this table is being implemented by Flash Security. Okay. So here we are passing this table and database session to the and create to the SQL Alchemy session user data store, and this user data store we are passing to security. Now we are done. Flash Security is there, and in the router part, can you see? I'm having only two routers. This base URL, hello world, which is returning this index.html, this HTML file, and this subject/subject router. Okay, and it's returning on the request of this get method. It's returning the registered HTML, and if the request is not get, then we are redirecting to this like these lines of code. So either you can make it like explicit by writing else if post method. So basically only post and get are allowed on this router, and in get it's returning this form, and in post it's doing the operation, database operation, inserting new subject in the subject table of the database. I'll just quickly change the name of this file so that you won't get confused. Okay, now see, I have not defined any login, registration, reset password, template, routers, nothing. I've just implemented this Flash Security, and that's it. Now I'll show you.
The setup
Uh, uh,
security, the two codes of the line 22 and 24, line number
yeah,
23 and 24. This
yeah,
only makes the effect of additional columns in the tables, like permission
yes,
and user.
exactly. Yeah,
Only these two lines.
yeah. This is the like the complete configuration of Flask security with your Flask application.
Mm.
Okay, so by default, it adds some columns in user and role table, and even it's create additional table which is required for for all the features there in the Flask security document or framework.
So what is the table name by these two lines? How the table name is chosen? We have given the
Uh,
code 23, 24. Then
yeah.
the table name given here is, what is
Hmm.
the additional table created here in the database?
This one roles user.
Roles user. Then these
Yeah.
roles and
So
users, how it is being created?
it's the internal implementation of Flask security too. If
Any
you'll
any name,
go,
any name it will give, or there's a specific
no,
rule.
no, it's a
to-
standard practice. It's standard name mentioned in the document itself.
Always whatever name we are giving
Yeah.
in
Hmm.
our code, but
Hmm.
all the time it will give the name roles users. Is it so?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
This
Fine.
class security requires three tables: user,
Okay.
role, roles user.
Okay.
So
It
these are
means
like,
we have in our code we have to give always the name user and role. These
yeah,
two codes,
yeah,
these two objects are essentially required.
yeah. So in the configuration, can you see this? It the
Yeah, yeah.
document is saying just write the name of the table. That's
Yeah,
it, and write task.
I was thinking that this class role and user, we can also
Hmm.
give this admin and something other name. It will not take.
No,
Okay, got it. Thank you.
you'll have to have this name, these names like role and
This is
user.
this is compulsory. Okay.
Yeah, there
And
are
what is this
ways you
app?
can modify the name.
Okay, and db
There are
dot
ways to
model.
modify. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Oh no,
See,
no,
let me
standard practice.
complete. Yeah, yeah. There are ways to customize each and every feature in Flash security. But for that, you'll have to go through the detailed definition or the features explanation of Flash security. Okay. So for simplicity, we'll follow this default option.
Got it.
Okay.
That is
Yeah.
the default option.
Even yeah, even if I'll remove these additional columns, even if I'll remove these columns, it will by default create all these columns in the table.
Got it.
Okay, yeah. But the reason why I'm creating this, since I'm gonna add extra column in the user table to making the relationship with other tables in my database. That's why I've defined this ID and this one.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Fine.
So
Thank
by
you.
yeah, yeah. By default, it creates all these columns. Now you're done.
Okay.
Now all
Okay.
these two tables, role and user, will be managed by Flash Security. Now let's start the. I'll show you the advantage of using Flash Security. Okay, why we are why I'm insisting you guys to use Flash Security. It reduces half of your work in your application. Okay, so I'll just activate the virtual environment. Now I'll start this application. Started. Now I'll open this application, the same application. Now, can you see in main.py, I've created this subject and there's no protection. I'll just try to access this router. See, it's showing this registration table, this form which I've created in the subject HTML. Okay, with the name. I'll just name subject subject to I'll submit. Now in the database, let's go to, let's reload. Subject 2 is added. See, we haven't authenticated ourselves. Still, we are able to do some operation. Okay. Now I want to protect this router. That means I want the user to be authentic, to get authenticate before accessing this router. Okay. Before accessing this resource. So I'll just add this auth required. This auth required is from Flash security. Now, if try if I'll try to access the same resource subject, it will redirect somewhere. Okay, just a second. Okay, okay. One thing I'll have to clear the cookies in my browser. Application cookies. By default, it uses cookies and it stores session class security. This is mandatory. Now, I remove the cookies. I mean session from the cookies. See, can you see? It's asking you must sign in to view this resource. I'll try it again. I'm able to access this router, but the moment if I'll try to access this subject, it's redirecting to this page. Now you can see login, register, forget password. We haven't written any code, HTML code to design these templates. Even we have not written to for displaying this message. It's coming from Flash Security. Now you have the complete authentication authorization resource to features in your application. Okay. Now, if I'll authenticate myself, this is the username and this is the password. This is the username which I have added over here. Yeah. Taste@me.com password. Okay. Now, if I log in, see, I can access this. Even now, if I'll try to access the resource, I'll be able to see since it created a session and it stored the session token in the cookies. Can you see this one? So this is coming from the security. Now, by default, Flash security provides some routers. Okay. Since I made the configuration to allow the registration of new user, that's why I've set this configuration security registrable. So I'll be able to register new user. So I'll register. Sorry. Before register, I need to log out. Now I click log out. I'll show you the session. Uh, okay, let me just confirm. Yeah, log out done. Now let's try to access this subject. It's again asking for the login. Okay, since I call the logout router and logout we haven't defined anywhere. Can you see? There's no logout route. It's coming from the Flash security. Now I'll just do one thing. I'll register new user. See again registration page. This is coming from the Flash security. I'll register. Let's suppose I'll register myself. Sachin@gmail.com. Password I'll write password. It has the complete feature. Even if I'll write something, some mismatching password. Can you see this one? And these two are not matching. Okay, I'll click register. Password do not match. Again, you haven't written any code for this implementation, for this feature. Okay. You have all this feature because of this flash security. Now I'll enter the correct password. Okay. This recovery is enabled, so I'll have to in the configuration this recoverable means asking like give enabling the feature user can recover their password through their email. Since we haven't configured any email system with this flash security, that's why we will have to make it false. Okay. Just- okay. By default, yeah, by configuration, by default it has some configurations, okay, which we'll have to disable. Okay, let me just go to registration again and let's check if the database has the new registration credential or not. No, Sachin is not there. I'll try to register again. Password. I'll write password. Password. Okay. So this email configuration I'll have to disable. So let's go to this. There's a registration section. Login, logout, password, token. Yeah. So this is the option which I made it true in the configuration file. In the configuration file, security registrable. This the reason it's enabling this registration page. And then security send register email. Upon successful registration, it will send an email. And by default, it's true. I'll have to disable this. Since in the entire project, we haven't set up any uh, mailing system. Okay, so I'll just made it false. So by default, it has something true, something false, which you'll have to take care. Okay. Now I'll try to register. I'll go back. I'll submit the form again. Yeah, it's done. I'll show you. See, new registration is there. Okay. Now I can add this, like access this user. Okay. I can log in with the. I'll try to access subject. Okay. Let's log out again. Now access this subject asking for the login. I'll log in with the Sachin credential. It has this remember me. Now I'm logged in. Okay. I can create Sachin Kumar something as a subject. I'll go with in the database. I'll show subject Sachin Kumar is there or not. It's there. Now even we have this reset password option. Reset. Okay, sorry. I'll go to logout. Reset. This reset option is also there. But for this resetting, it's asking for have this email. And again, if you enter email, it will throw the error since we haven't set up any email configuration with our application Flash Security. Okay. So you can disable this feature by disabling this. By default, it's false. I'll just search and I'll show you. default option is false. So either you can remove, delete this one. Let's keep it default. Now let's try to reset, access this page. See, this is not found. Now, next comes to let's next coming to this authorization. Okay, can you see? I'll just try to access subject. It's asking for login. If I'll enter my password and credential, it will allow me to access this resource. Now I want to protect this resource by the role. I'll mention what I'll mention roles required admin. So by default, the moment I created this uh, user, I created a role. See, data store find or create role, and I've written the name admin, and it has some permissions. Even you can check the permissions. See, permission accepted. Something you can look into. Check before giving access to the user. Okay. Now what I'm doing, I'm verifying whether this person has admin access or not. So let's in the table, Sachin Kumar has this role association. Okay, just a second. Where's the role? There's one column role. Okay, yeah. Sachin Kumar has unique ID 2. Role has one role, which is name admin. ID is 1. Let's go to users. There's one entry only. One map to 1. That means user ID having value 1 is mapped with the role having value ID value 1. That means user taste me with ID 1, role 1 with admin is mapped only. There's no mapping, no role for this user, for this Sachin user. Okay. So let's log in with Sachin credential and try to access this resource which we have protected through the role. Let's log in with Sachin. Again, roles required. So this error is coming because there's no entry for this user in the roles. That's the reason. Okay. So you can assign role to a user using writing the code the same, find a create role and then assign it. Okay. Or uh, you can customize the registration. Okay. Uh, so you can do one thing. Either you can open this database and you can assign this value, mapping the role. I'll go back. Now, if I log in with admin credential, see, now I can access it. Doesn't matter. Sorry, roles required something wrong. Let's go to main.py. Roles required. Admin. Just a second. Okay, yeah. First, I need to log out. Okay, with the older credential. I'll click on logout and I'll try to access subject asking for this one. I'll log in. Yeah, now I can access. Initially, what was happening? I logged in with my credential and I was trying to do the same thing. Make sure whenever you log in, you click on logout so that this session in the backend, session token, this session token get expired in the backend server. So now you can see by just implementing this flash security, you have the uh, complete security mechanism. You're only supposed to create your additional routers. I mean, this adding course, adding chapter, giving quiz, and all. Okay. So that will follow in the mat2 itself. While we'll create APIs, I'll be explaining how you can use this APIs as a router in your mat1 application. So I'll just move to the mat2 application. So far, this was the uh, one of the core thing which I wanted to present is this flash security. So with the help of flash security, your application will look professional. Okay, and it will have the complete mechanism. Since in Mad1 we have backend side rendering. That means we receive a request from the client, I mean from the browser, and then we process the request. We process the request. We generate the entire HTML template in the backend side itself, and we return the entire HTML as a response. So the moment we are calling this render template, what is happening? Whatever data will pass in the return render template, that will populate this template, and this entire HTML will get returned as a response. That is called backend side rendering or server side rendering. In the server, we receive request, we prepare the template, we build the template with the data, and then we return the entire template itself, uh, the rendered template. I mean the template with the data. That's the idea. Now, rest all the stuff like adding CRUD delete, like CRUD operation with your subject, business logic, giving quiz, and all, you can easily implement with your lab assignments. Okay. And even you can have this registration, you have this registration. Okay. Now, in the registration, you can mention like assign some role. Okay. In the after registration, let's suppose I'll do one thing. I'll just let's suppose if I'll write something over here. Let's suppose I want student. Okay, this should get accessed by the student itself. So there's a way to assign the role in the flash security. For that, we use this find or create role. For that, even for that, you have something called uh, see. If you know routers, I mean decorators, you know the complete framework. Decorators are the heart of the Python frameworks. Okay, so this decorator, see, the moment we call this router, if you want to perform some task before calling or getting executed this uh, router, this decorator at the rate app.route, there's something you can use in the Flask. In the Flask, you'll search before route or just search before this one. So you can define some function using this. Okay, it's like the global card or global uh, function or decorate. It's again the decorator which you can add, and here you can mention, you can write some piece of code. Okay, let's suppose I'll just write some piece of code. So what I'm trying to do before before executing any app.route, before any request. Okay, since every request will get handled by the routers. So what I'm saying, before any request, okay, I don't want to. I'll name it assign role. Now I know by default all the users, I'll assign the role of user, since I know there is only one admin. So the admin I have already associated. I've assigned a role admin. So now all the next registration will have the role of student. Okay, so again, you can use the same line of code. Okay, let's do it. Okay, now I want to make it student, and you can mention like, I'll just give read and write access. Okay, read and write, not update and delete. Okay, now you have created this role. Now you want to add a role to the current user. Okay, you have this context current user. Yeah, current user. Okay, so I want to, since I know every new user will have this feature. Okay, this uh, will have this student role. So in the current user, you have this attributes is authenticated. Again, this is authenticated. It is there in the document itself. Okay, so these are the attributes of the current user. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'll just use this current user. If current user is there, okay, by default, if someone is already authenticated in this application, current user will have uh, some like some unique value from the database, some unique user from the database. Else, it will take the anonymous user type. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just I'll assign this role, add role. Okay, there will be some method add role. I'll just search by role. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm searching in the last document. I should search on last security. Yeah, is authenticated. Authenticated. Search is authenticated. It says maybe something they have changed. Okay, let's call this current user is authenticated. If the current user is authenticated, then I'll assign the role. Let's name it add role. This one method. Yeah, this one. I was talking about this one. So it's a add role to the user. You pass the user, you pass the role. And it says role can be anything. The role is role to add to the user can be a role object or a string role name. Okay. You can pass the name of the role, you can pass the role object itself. That means you can create an object of this role table, okay, and you can pass or you can just pass the name, okay. In the before route, what I'm doing, I'm creating the student role. So I'll just call
In this
this.
route before
Uh,
request, in this route before request, there is no
hmm,
endpoint, no?
no, it will run before each and every request. Whenever you make any call, now any route before any route get executed, it will get executed
Okay,
like
okay,
before.
okay, 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 okay.
It will run
It is
before
before. Okay.
each and every route.
It is before the slash.
Yeah.
First route is the slash. No, before request means it will
Yes.
run before that.
Yeah. You know what is decorators? Are the things by which you can modify your function. So before
Mm.
it run this create subject function, this get executed first, and then
Yeah,
before these things get executed, this function will get executed first, and so on. That's why we use decorator. Decorator as a like the modification on an extra layer which should get executed, then only next function will get executed.
correct.
Okay, now I'll just call how you will call this security dot data store dot add role, and we'll pass this way. Now I can commit TV session, commit. I'll keep it here itself. That's it. We're done. Now I'll just show you. Here I have written this student. Okay. Now I'll just log out with the application. From the application, I'll log out. Okay, it's not running. I'll just log out. Log out. I'll try to access this subject. It says login first. I'll log in with the Sachin credential. It says forbidden. See, why it says forbidden? Since I don't have this student role. If I'll check my database, I can see for the user Sachin, there's no, it has the ID 2 and there's no, okay, 2 has 2. Ah, yeah, now I have this ID. Okay, student. Okay, now let's reload. Yeah, so it's like the bug or something. Like I directly executed this one. Okay, I should have called this landing page first. Okay, so now you can see why it happens, because we have added some lines of code in the before route. So this way you can assign some role. There are other ways to assign the role to the users. You can even modify the registration process, this slash register by which we register the user registration. You can modify this page, like what should happen after the registration. I'll just show you. See, please always look into all the configuration there. Okay. Uh, all the configuration. I'll go to previous security pattern. Okay. Working with the application. Okay. Yeah. Configurations. In the configuration, where is the configuration? To factor configuration. Okay. Overview. Overview has this configurations. So configurations. Yeah. Core configurations. So here you can mention after registration, what should happen after login. Uh, Login, logout, registration. Yeah, registration enable email or not. What do you want to send email or not after registration? And what should be the subject of the email? What should be the template? What should be the like post registration? After the registration, what should happen? So you can by default it has nothing. You can mention a URL where you can mention a URL to redirect. There you can call this before route, or maybe you can call some function which will assign the role. So there's always ways to what you want before login, after login. Okay, so all this configuration are there. You can explore more on this document itself. Now I hope you got the idea what why you should use Flash security, and what are the advantages of using Flash security in your application. Rest all the operations are CRUD operation. So that's all about the mad one. uh, the core concept. Okay. Later, I'll be explaining the CRUD operation, how to create APIs and all in the Mat2 itself. So if you have any doubt, you can ask. Else, I'll start with Mat2. Yeah, any question you can ask.
Those who having doubts, please unmute yourself and ask your doubt.
Yeah. Okay. Then let's start the session with Mat2.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, yesterday I didn't able to join. So,
Hmm.
where can I get the recordings?
Have you seen the
Uh,
chat box? I have
Uh,
posted there.
Actually, I am not included. What is the name of the group? Actually, I am not included. Maybe
No, no, no. This chat, this in-call messages.
in call messages.
Sachin, can you show this?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that first link, right? YouTube
Yes.
link.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay, and
And
and another query
also,
I had.
yeah.
Yes. No. Yeah. If while doing, if I face any problem, then how will I be able to connect with you?
Yeah.
Is there any?
Anyone can approach me on my LinkedIn profile. Like on my LinkedIn, you can message me directly. I'll be available. Like I'm active on my LinkedIn account.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll just share my link. So not Instagram, LinkedIn. You anyone can connect with me on my LinkedIn account. You can message me on LinkedIn. I'll sure reply over reply each and every messages on LinkedIn.
Okay.
So yeah,
Thank you.
I'll just add this in the chat. Yeah. Okay. Now let's start with Mat 2. I'll close this one. I'll open a direct. Okay, for Mat 2, what I'll be doing will be I'll be creating a grocery app. Okay, grocery app, and there are ways, like there are different ways to build your Mat 2 project. I'll just explain in a minute. Like what are the ways you can create your Mat 2 application. So so far in the MAD one, we were creating a single Python server and we were using it as the application. So in this MAD one single server application app. Okay. Now this one. So we create this Python server, Flash server, and we create this routers. We receive request, we return response, and so on. That's it. In MAD two, there are two ways to create your Mat2 project, build your Mat2 project. Okay. So Mat2 approach one, and you guys will have approach A. Okay. So this I'll make it and I'll write Mat2 approach two. Okay. So these are the two approach. First one is called the CDN approach, CDN, and second we'll call CLI approach. Now, in CLI, what we do, we create two separate application. We create two separate application. One is called front end. The second is our back end. Okay. In CLI, we create just single server, either back end or front end. You can consider it's a like complete application. Okay. So we create, I'll write single server, uh, single server app. Okay. You can call it backend. Okay. Or backend. Okay. Okay. So we'll follow this approach only. Approach one. Approach two, I'll just explain quickly. Okay. So I'll just quickly explain both the approaches. Okay. So let me start with approach one. Okay. See, this MAD one is again, MAD two is again very simple. If you are familiar with the your MAD one concepts, whatever you have seen in MAD one tutorial or MAD one session, or if you have completed MAD one, if you are familiar with, like, not in advance, it's the basics of Flask or the intermediate level, you can build your MAD two easily with the CDN approach. In this CDN approach, again we create the same MAD1 application. This is the way we have created. Like, we create this Flask server, and then templates folders, static folders, and uh, yeah, that's it. Okay, the database. Even you can have this Flask security there or something JWT. Okay, so let me just quickly go to this one. Okay, so this is the explanation of CDN approach. So can you see? It's again the same thing. I've created this app.py. It's like the similar mad1.py. I'll open it in parallel. Quiz master. Let's compare it with the mad1. Okay, see, here we have this main.py. Here I've named it app.py. Here we have some bash script files. Okay, bash script files will help you to set up the project and start the project. In the MAD one, what we were doing actually, we're running this Python main.py over here to start the project, and pip install Flask and all blah blah blah. In MAD 2, what we do, even you can have all these files in your MAD 1. So we write all the commands, bash command, Linux command, WSL command in a bash script file. Okay, so this setup is verifying if there is a virtual environment or not. If virtual environment is not there, then it's create the virtual environment, the same command which we are using to create the virtual environment, and then activate this. Then we create this requirement.txt. We install all the dependencies written over here. Yeah, that's it. It's like you start this, you run this file, it set up everything, the creating virtual environment, installing everything and all. Running again, you must have seen, whenever I was running this project, I had to start the like activate the virtual environment env, then script, and then activate. So this is like tedious task. You're repeating step again and again. Okay, and then I was writing like Python main.py. So instead of doing this, I can do one thing. I can write all these two commands in a single file. See, enable virtual environment Python 3 app.py, the same command. So that's why we use these two files. Now, there's a concept of salary like servers and then beat. I'll explain these two files later. Just a second. Just a second. Yeah, sorry. I'll explain these two files later. But this is the like simple concept. Just get the broader idea, like the top idea, top to bottom approach. These bash files help us to run multiple commands in the WSL terminal. Second, WSL is mandatory if you're using Windows for Mac to application. Those who are having Mac, they can go with JAS or Bash terminal. It has this Bash terminal. Is if you are not, if you don't have this Linux system or Mac, okay, or any other system like Linux environment, then you'll have to enable WSL on your Windows, and then you can create your Mat2 application. Then you can start with your Mat2 application. Since in Mat2 application, we create microservices, salary, Redis server, and these Redis server requires WSL. So that's why you can see I'm using WSL only. And in my laptop, I have enabled this WSL. So keep in mind, WSL is mandatory for Mat2 application. Okay. Bash scripts are files which we create to run multiple commands, bash commands in the terminal. Instead of running the command line by line, you can just call this file, just writing dot local run. It will run all the commands written in the file. So it will help you to implement, like do your task easily. Like, okay, run your application easily without activating the virtual environment and all. And even it's deactivate. Okay. Now, this is the app.py file. And the way we have this templates folder, static folder, static folder, instance folder, backend jobs, the additional folder, which I'll explain later. Now, so far, if you have any doubt related with this bash script, why do we need WSL and uh, yeah, if you have doubts related with WSL or bash script, you can ask, or I can like move ahead with by running this application and explaining the code if you have any doubt.
Uh, how to install WSL, or it will be already there?
WSL, you'll have to install Ubuntu, okay, from the Microsoft Store,
Mm.
okay. I'm sorry, Microsoft Store. You'll have to install Ubuntu, and then you'll have to enable WSL. Okay, search for Ubuntu, and you
Hmm.
can find a complete tutorial on the official document of Windows. Okay.
Okay.
Well, yeah, you can search for how to install WSL. One or two. It has two versions on Windows. So you'll land with on the this official document of installing WSL on Windows. You can follow the same document.
Okay. Thank.
Okay. So install WSL. Now let's move ahead with it. Okay. Now I'll just start the application. Okay. But before this, I'll start one thing that is called Redis server. Again, Redis server is a separate application or tool which we are using for our application. I'll explain why do we need Redis server. So I'll just start Redis server. Again, Redis server, you'll have to install, how to install, how to, or just search Redis server. Redis server, not server. Let's go to there. Okay. Installing on Linux, since we are using, follow these instructions and then Windows. Okay. So in if you go to Windows, if you guys are using Windows, you can see it says uh, Microsoft provides okay this WSL. You can read more about like why do we need WSL. So this is a reason since we are going to use Redis server, so it requires this WSL. You run this curl command in your WSL, you install Redis server, and then you can start. Since I have in my system, I've already installed Redis server, so I'll just quickly start through this command. It asks your WSL credential started. Now, to verify if it's started or not, you move to Redis CLI. All the instructions are there. It says you switch to Redis CLI terminal and you write ping. If you are getting this Pong response, that means you're done. Like your Redis server is running and it's active. So I'll write ping, it's active. I'll explain why do we need this Redis server. Okay. Now, again, to activate this virtual environment, then start the application, I won't run the command one by one. Instead of that, I'll call this hash script file. What it does, it verifies if this virtual environment is there or not in the current directory. If it's not there, it throws the error, no virtual environment. Please run setup, local setup. I can improve this. Run local setup dot sh. Local underscore setup dot sh first. Okay. And it's exiting with the message. If the virtual environment is there, it's print this message enabling virtual environment, then activating this virtual environment, the same command. Yeah, in WSL we use dot space the name of the virtual environment dot env bin activate. In Windows we were following this script. So there's a difference in the command, the way we start the uh, virtual environment. So I'll just call this local run. Okay, I'm calling this file. It's enabling, yeah, it's enabling virtual environment, enabling. Are people's waiting or not? Like students can, like all the candidates can use their official student email ID, and you, it won't prompt this admit or reject. Okay. you'll directly get into this meeting. Okay. Now you can see it's activated, the virtual environment activated, application is running. Now in the Mad1, we had this URL which returning this template. Okay. In Mad2, we create only one single HTML file, and this HTML file help us to re- build the entire view application, Vue.js application. Okay. So I'll explain all these lines of code later. Just what I'm doing, I have this base URL, and I'll just show you in the app.py. I'll search for index, and then let me go to not this one, gen mode. Okay. Now see here what I'm doing. Okay. Again, you can read all the parameters which you can pass to this route function in the Flask document itself. I'll just explain whatever I'm using. What I'm saying, I'm creating this URL, and I'm saying for any like this, like you can pass any path. Okay. And actually you're creating a dictionary of possible additional path which can be added after this slash. I mean slash. Okay. Slash app slash. This is the URL. Now after this, I can add anything, any value which will get assigned to this page key, and page key can have, it's like page is a variable where you can assign any value. By default, I kept it empty. Okay. Now this is data type. This path is a data type. Okay. Path is a special data type which is there in the Flask document. If we'll search for path, I'll show you. Uh, this data type, I'll explain. I can see this path. Okay. Let me search defaults. Hmm. Okay, I guess it's not. I'm not able to find it. It's basically the data type. See, in your Mad1, whenever you create a dynamic URL, okay, dynamic URL, it's like the dynamic. It's not static. The value can change. Okay, it's create a variable. You mention int, and then you pass ID. So what you're saying, this path can have any value in this ID variable, and this value will be int type. Okay, that you mentioned. The same, this is a path type. Path is basically a URL. This is called path. So whatever you pass, it should be a path. It will consider it a path. Either you can pass string, since a path can be a string. Okay. So you can pass any string, okay, with any character, okay, this slash and all, and it will treat the data type as path. No. So for any URL from the browser, if I'll write anything, it will return this index.html. Let's see. We'll start it again. I'll open this application on browser. Make sure this mad one is not running. Oh, yeah, it's not running. Okay. I'll open this. I won't get anything since this base URL is not defined in this entire project. I'll have to write app. Okay, just a second. Is there anything wrong? Okay, I have written something somewhere. Okay, control 6. And then set gen mode. I modified anything? Says P is not defined in index dot. Yes. Okay, yeah. Something I've written on the index.js. I'll just go to router index.js. Okay, not quiz master. Index.router. Where's the P? Not this one. Some causing react. Okay, this error was from the Vue.js, not from the Flask. Okay. So this is the landing page. Okay. Now even if I'll write something, let's suppose I'll write hero or something. It's redirecting since I've added something called router guard. I'll explain router guard. But anything like let's suppose sign up, it's redirecting router guard. I'll explain why it's happening. Okay. So this is like for any URL, it will return the backend server, this Flask server. It will return this index.html, this one, and this index.html is the complete mat2. Okay. So this is like the landing page. I created this one login. I mean, and then register. Now, next, the way we integrate Vue using the CDN link. See, this CDN link is for Bootstrap. This CDN link again from the Bootstrap. This is I'm using font awesome icon, and this is the view router. Okay, this one is the view router. Sorry, view JS, view router, and view X. Okay, so view X is basically the view JS framework CDN link, and this is the router. The way we create routes, this path in Mad1, the URLs we create like slash subject or slash something something. The same we create in the front end. So this front end is again a separate application. For this front end, we'll create a separate routers. So in the static folder, all the Vue code, all the Vue.js code will write in a JS file. And we know JS or CSS, all these static files will get served from the static folder in Flask application. So taking the advantage of this static folder of the Flask, I'm writing all my Vue.js code in JS file, JavaScript file, and serving this front end application from there itself. So first I'll explain this. This is the CDN links I've attached, and this one is the style CSS. the customized CSS which I may use and I'm using. Okay. Now, this is again. Okay. In this HTML body, okay, HTML body, again the same Flask application. We are importing store which we have created, routers which we have created, and we are creating this view application, create view app, and we are binding our not binding, integrating our store and router with our Vue.js. This is the way we configure our Flask security with Flask application. In the front end, we do the same thing. Whenever we use external frameworks like router.js, Vue router, Vuex, we need to mention, we need to integrate the main application. So you can compare it with the, this is like Flask security, and this you can treat as a Flask SQL alchemy. Okay, let's suppose. And this view is the Flask application. So I'm binding security and the Flask SQL alchemy with the Flask application. So same I'm binding, I'm integrating router and store with the view application. That's it. These are additional lines of code. You can ignore this. Okay. This tooltip from Bootstrap. And again, the same thing. Now you write this mounted. Okay. Now, same thing which I've mentioned. We need to create the separate routers, all the paths, which whichever like whatever routes you want to create or paths for your application. So for that, what you do,
चप्पल फिक्स करो भाई इतना चप्पल हो गया
anyone
हमने
saying
बहुत
anything.
रैंक मार गया
Okay. So this is the way like we created all the routers. Like in my application, there will be app.route, login, register, admin, manager, user. And all these manager will have children paths. Like manager can create category, can edit category, create product, and so on. Same we have done on this cart component, like for user. So there are separate pages, separate paths associated with a parent path, means manager. So for manager, I create separated paths. For admin, separate paths. User, separate paths. So these are the all paths. And this is a security guard. I mean router guard. Before it is the same. Sorry. This before it is similar to before request. So before getting getting redirected to any router, any path, this line of code will get executed, and it says if you are not trying to access login, if you are trying to access login, you are able to access base URL, yeah, register URL. If you are not authenticated, if you don't have this token and you are not authenticated, then you will get redirected to login, so that without login nobody can access the application. That's the idea. And this view store is this central location where we can store all the common data of the application. Okay. So for entire application, I know there will be products, there will be category, there will be notifications, there will be list of managers which admin can see and do some action, uh, order something like pass order to the managers. There will be cart, there will be order, and I'll store authenticated user. Now, in view store, you create variables with your application. You create methods like getters, mutations. So mutations are like the methods which can modify or update something in the variable. And then actions. These actions, uh, these actions are basically a synchronous call which you make to your backend server. If something happens in the front end application, someone click on add to cart and something, then you make a call to the backend server. Okay. Now this is the component, all the components like the templates we create. Like this is the creating component, template component, like creating form. This code is being taken from the Bootstrap. It's a like the form, submitting form. Okay. And create product, edit product, edit category, and all these HTML codes and some components. So if you have any doubt so far, you can ask. If you're able to follow up me or not, let me know. Like, are you getting anything or not? Any question, any doubt? See, it's good to ask questions. Get your doubt clear. You'll get the idea how to. It's very. It seems maybe the first time you. It seems to be complicated or something. It's very easy. Once you get the understanding, the overall structure, you and lines of code, you can. You'll be like you can easily understand the lines of code, but the getting the overall layout is important. So if you are facing any issue like any doubt or something, you can ask. Okay. So this is the place where we create all the parts of the front end application, all the data in the store, all the components in the sense, all the templates, all the UIs we have over here. And this is the root application where we create the this Flask application. Okay. Now I'll just go to the application. Okay. Let me ask you one question. Can you guess from where this template is coming in the application? I've explained. I tried to explain the entire structure. Now I want to ask a question. Okay, just let me know. Okay, I'll exit this Gen mode. Okay, this is a complete layout. How how I have organized the files and folders for of this application. Can you just let me know by looking the path? You can ask me to switch to any page, like show me any file or code, and then just tell me which file is responsible for this UI, the interface which you guys are see which you guys are able to see on my screen. Welcome to Eat Phrase, explore a world of freshness or something. Which page is responsible for this UI? You know, basically this is a HTML CSS. I want you to tell me the exact file which is responsible for that. You can ask me to jump into any page or any files and folders. You're allowed
Before
to.
before register,
Yeah, before register. In which
the
file?
in the templates.
Okay, I'll go to templates. Templates folder is having only one file, that is index.html. I'll open this
Okay.
index.html.
No, not there. Not there.
No, it's in the index.html only. It's a router guard.
Router guard. Yeah. Okay. Okay, router guard. I'll just show you the entire code. Okay. So this is the header. Okay, let's concise this and collapse this. So I have header and body. That's all. I'll open this
Right.
header.
Yeah.
See, in the header, what are the things I'm having? Only the links.
Only links, CDN links.
Yeah, CDN
CDN.
links. Okay. Yeah. So I'll collapse this again. In the body, I have two things. One is the script tag. I mean, two tags, script tag, where you can write all your JavaScript code, and there is a div tag where you can write your HTML code. I'll show you this. There's only 3 lines of code, and then I'll collapse this one. Yeah. Again, in the this script module, I have some imports, only 2 imports, then these lines of code, then these 2 lines, and I've already mentioned this thing. You can ignore these 2 lines. I can delete this one. Just keep it simple. Now let me know which is responsible for this UI.
No, sir, it's
Is
not
this
you.
the correct file? Index.html is the correct file for this UI.
No.
Hmm. So okay. In this
Mm.
index.html, I've already only created the view application. I integrated router and store, and I created the app. That's it. Now, in this router, this div is a root component, a root HTML element of view application, and there I have created component tag with router view. Means whatever you create, see, you created path app.manager. Can you see this app? There's a path app.
Mm.
The same thing is there. App is there. And in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
app, what I'm saying, component should be home view. So this home view is the component which will get displayed over here. This is basically the stage or the placeholder. You can consider it as a stage where candidates will perform. So whatever you try to display on your path, this path has the access of this placeholder, and all your components will get placed over here. I mean, component will get put on this placeholder, and those components will get rendered on the browser. So now you know this is the path which is there. Can you see this path? Yeah, slash app. Slash app has this component home view. So what you should look into, there must be a home view component that I've created, which is responsible for this entire stuff. So I'll just show you home view. Yeah, I'm importing this home view, and I'm importing from the parent of the current folder, views, home views.js. That means I must have created, yeah. So this index.js is in the router folder. Double slash indicates parent of the current folder. Current folder is router. Parent of this current router folder is a static folder. And there is a views folder. Yeah, there is a views folder. And there is the home view.js. Home view.js. Now you can see. I'll collapse this. No, no, no. Okay. Control C. Sorry. Uh, which zero? Yeah. So this is the component home view, which is there in the path, this path, and this component is responsible. Now, every component in Vue.js consists some options, like it has the fixed structure. Okay. What are the things you mention? You mention the name of the component, you export the component will have this name, you write the template in the component, the HTML code, you write the JavaScript code. Okay. So in JavaScript, this complete code is JavaScript, but in JavaScript, you have this template option. You have these methods where you write all your methods. Okay. Like any function for this component associated with this component and this mounted. Okay. I'll explain these later. Now you have the idea. There is a template and you can see it has this welcome to eat phrase. The same thing, welcome to eat phrase. And even you can see discover a wide range of fresh and quality grocery delivered to your doorstep. Discover a wide range of fresh and quality, same thing. So this file is responsible for the UI. Okay. Now I'm gonna ask one question. I'll just redirect. Okay. Okay. Now can you find the file which is responsible for this UI?
Maybe login view.
Which one? Yeah, login
Login
view.
login view.
So how you can find the file? Look into the address. What it says? App login. You'll first go to routers where we have created all our routers. Now search the path /app/login. There's a login compo.
Compo. Yes.
Yeah. In the login compo, it says I'll try to find where I've imported this login compo. It says views folder login compo. Again, static folder, views folder. This is a login compo. And it has this sign up, this email address, and this password. The same thing is there. Sign up, email address, password. Okay. Now register. Obviously, it's very simple. Register component. Now I'll log in and I'll ask the question. I'll log in with the admin credential I've already created. Yeah. This is the dashboard. This is the admin dashboard. You can look into the URL. Now, again, we'll find the component which is responsible for this UI. So I'll close everything again as same. We'll go to this router page. I'll find this path. It says admin. So admin path has this product. Sorry, yeah. Admin path is having this component admin app. So I'll try to search where is the admin app. So it says admin app is again in the same folder. Admin app. Now I'll make it. Okay, I'll just try to show you. I'll show you the overall structure. Now, can you see again the same format? Name, name, template, components, method, mounted. These are the options which you can define, which you can pass in your Vue.js component. Now, treat this application Vue.js as a complete Flask application. Try to relate the things with your Mad One Flask application. The way we create, import something. Can you see this? See, we have created uh, this database and we were importing this in the main.py. The same concept, same things we follow in the Vue.js. It's again the same thing. Okay, so consider the same thing. I've created something dash compo and I'm importing it in the this app.vue.js, admin app.js. I'll open the template. It says now within this template, I'm using this dash compo, this component. And in the component, I'm writing again a template with float name menu and then some HTML, I mean bootstrap code, and again the slot edit, and then this. Okay. So let's first go into this task compo. Hmm. Now there's no import and export over here. Okay. Let's find the template only. Now I know the basic layout, like it has the name, component name, and the export. Now I'll go to template. So template says it has one nav bar. Nav bar. This nav bar is basically this green nav bar. Now it says main component rest, like other than this nav bar, all this rest area, I'm treating it as a main uh, component, and the main component I have this div sidebar, this black one sidebar. Now other than this sidebar, again created a router view. Whenever we write router view, actually we are creating a placeholder where the components can render their template. So dash compo this dash compo will be this dash compo will be the parent of all the components which will try to render display their templates over here. Okay. So again, this is a placeholder where we can render the templates. So this is the basic layout. I've created navigation bar, then sidebar, and then placeholder. And this is the footer of our application. I'll show you this one. Now, obviously, I've written this sidebar. Sidebar is not there. The sidebar class is not there in Bootstrap. Let's try to find Bootstrap sidebar. I'll go to this. Okay. Search for sidebar. It's not showing any sidebar. Can we see sidebar? No. So basically this sidebar is basically the custom CSS which I have defined in the style.css file. You see? So these are the custom CSS file which I have written to implement this UI, this sidebar, this profile picture, and all rest of the, like basically this thing. So yeah, I'm using some custom CSS other than Bootstrap to design my layout. Now, and again, all this in the index.html, you can see I'm using this style.css over here. Now, this is a complete layout. So this is the way we design the components, the component basic idea. Now, okay, see, I'm going to explain the basic layout of a view component. Every component in view will have template, first thing, okay, other than this name, export, and this is the way we create an JavaScript object. So this is a JavaScript object where we are creating an object component object. So we have templates. Every view file, every JS file in this project will have the same structure. Template, data, or maybe methods. Methods will have all the functions, and mounted. So this mounted is very important. whenever we make a call or reload page, what happens? All this data, this products, this image and all, it's coming from the database. So the moment we click reload or redirect, what happens? This template, these templates include something, some placeholder, this Jinja placeholder, where we create, where we'll try to pass some variable value. This is the same way we do in render template. In random template, we pass any data like user current user, and then we use this current user in the template. Let's suppose we create something, some placeholder, and we write current user dot name or email. This is the feature of Jinja 2, where you populate the template with the data in your database and then return it to the client or the browser. In Mat2, what happens since this rendering, this render template, this rendering process, rendering template with the data happens in backend server in Mat1, but in Mat2, it happens in the browser itself and it happens with the help of JavaScript. So this value will get replaced with this variable will get replaced with its value to populate the render template such that user can see the populated template with the data. Okay, so to do so we need to have this mounted, and in mounted what we do, we call all the API calls to the backend server which will fetch the data from the database and assign the data into the data option like profile pic and all. Okay, now yeah, profile pic and all, these are the variables. And since I'm storing all the variables in the store, this what happens? This calls the backend server, fetch the data, assign the data to the uh, data store variables, and then we are able to access the data. You can see this dot dollar store state authenticated image, authenticated user. Okay, so I'm calling the store. This store have store has this authenticated user. It's from the state. So same thing I'm doing over here. This is the global variable available in Vue.js with the help of which you can call the global variables. So I'm calling this dollar store. I mean this store, and store has one attribute which is state, and state has again one more attribute, authenticated user. Yeah, state, and state has authenticated user. And the moment I was calling this dispatch, this is the way to call any action which you have defined in the actions of the store. I'll show you. This is the fetch category, fetch product, fetch orders, fetch card items, fetch manager, fetch. It says fetch categories, fetch notification. So fetch categories is the asynchronous backend API call. This API, fetch is the API which is available in every browser. Okay, you are not supposed to import it. It's by default available in the browser. This fetch is making a call to the backend server, okay, to the Flask server, Flask application. Then Flask will return the data, okay, You can see this response, and then from the response, I'm getting the data, and this data, I'm assigning this data set categories. Commit set categories, I'm passing data. This set categories is a mutation. Yeah, mutation. It's like uh create the CRUD operation. Create, read, update, delete. Create. So it's set categories. What it does, it takes the state, it says state, and the categories is the basically this data, and this data I'm assigning to this categories variable, and this category is the list of items which I mean JSON items or the JavaScript object which I'm assigning to the state dot categories. State dot categories is assigned. Now it's mounted calling this action is getting executed. This action fetch categories is calling to the backend is returning the data is getting assigned to the uh, state, and this state variable, okay, state variable I can access in the dashboard itself. uh, See, every data I'm trying to access from the, you can see categories. Can you see this list of categories? Fruits, vegetables, beverage, dairy, breakfast, dry fruit, chocolates. It's happening because, see, we have this V4 loop. It's going through each and every item. So what I'm saying, V4 category in stores. Again, this dollar store state has one list of, I mean list of object or arrays categories, and I'm going through each category, and category has name and ID. So ID I'm passing over here, and name I'm displaying on the screen. So this is the complete flow. You make a call to the backend server will return a response with the data. You save the data in your store, and you can directly access the data of the store in your templates. There is a reason why I'm using this store. Okay, so it makes your application reactive. Like, can you see? Whenever I'm clicking this, it's changing. Able to see the reflection quickly without reloading the application and all. Even if I'll edit, sorry. Okay, maybe this token expired or something. I'll just show you. It's login, submit. Okay, something wrong with the application. Okay, let's ignore this. I'll fix this later. Let's suppose I want to edit this product, Apple. Okay, fix. It's Apple. I'll just write as apples or like oranges, and I'll keep everything same. And it says fruits. I'll add fruits. Ask for the files, photo. I means let's add something over here. Okay, assets. Let's add this one. Let's add oranges are there or not. Let's add this orange. Update. Okay, you need to mention the date. Mandatory. It's update. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, something wrong again happened with the application. Okay, internal server error. Yeah, just a second. Yeah, okay. There's something wrong with the backend server. Okay, I'll just go to. Okay, we are making a call to the backend server. There's a name keyword. Error. This is an error. Okay, so let's go to this line is okay. Let me just do one thing. So we'll go to backend app.py. Okay, update products. There is a something wrong with the this update product URL. So I'll search for this one. Yeah. So since we are making the update put request, can you see it's put request? So I'll go to directly put section, this put one, and it says update product. Okay. So since I was trying to update product, have this update. Okay, else put okay product manager. Not from the manager. This request is not from the manager. This is from the admin. Okay, it says name. Okay, form. Okay, we are not submitting this name. I guess that's why we are able to. We are getting this error. Okay, I'll just do it right away. See, these are the techniques to debug your code. Okay, let me just remove this. I'll reload this and I'll enable this dev tool active started. Okay, yeah, I'll have to log in again. Log in. So far, no error. Edit apple. I'll write oranges. Then quantity, I'll write 100. Date, I'll write 20. Whatever. 25. Description, yeah. Healthy. Dot dot dot. 145. Select category, fruits, kg. Chosen file is orange. Okay. We'll go to the network tab. We'll try to see what are the things we are sending. Disable everything. Update. Sure. Internal server. Payload. So in the payload, no, response again. This name is not getting submitted. That means something with the okay. Since this operation is related with the update of the product, so I'll go to edit product. Okay, I'm calling this, and this one is submitting update product with the put operation. Yeah, this one name form data. Name is getting submitted to the okay put name we are submitting. Okay, maybe this is the reason request get JSON. Okay, see the reason is like we are submitting this content type JSON. Okay, I'll try to fix this. I'll just do one thing. I'll try to remove this one. Okay. Yeah. Since see there's one thing which I want to clear. The moment you mention content type, That means whatever the content type you are submitting, you are mentioning it application JSON. It means it's a JSON type data. But the reason we since we are not only passing the JSON data, we are also passing this image, and this image is basically the uh, binary object, media object, blob object. Okay, so it's like the combination of text plus binary data, media data. So it's no longer uh, JSON. It's a like mixed. Okay, it composed two different types of multi types of data: text, media type like blob, binary files and all. So I'll remove this. Okay, and now that's why I'm using form data. Okay, that's done. Now let's do it again. I'll stop this, start the application, and now let's see if see here there are ways how to whatever data you're submitting from your client and how to get the same data in your backend server. And there are ways to get the data. Here what I'm doing from the request form, I'm directly trying to get the name, but this is not correct way. If you're submitting a JSON data from the client side from the browser, you'll have to write data equals to something. It's something request uh, get JSON. This is the correct method to get the data since you're submitting JSON data type. Okay, so that's why I've removed this application JSON from there. Okay, now let's try this again. Let's try this again. I log out. Log out. Yeah, just a second. Yeah. Okay. Let's log in again. Let's edit this one. Apple to orange. Oranges. Quantity 100. Date 20. This one 31. Uh, I'll just make sure. Okay. 145 fruits kg. Okay, oranges. Now I'm sure I'll be able to update this product. But before that, I'll enable this console so that I should I can get the idea like whether it's happening correct or not. Are you sure? Okay. Yeah, again something wrong. Okay. I don't know. Okay, what's happening? Uh, change the token data. Oh, application. Okay. Okay, let's do it. Okay, I'm using this update on data. This will fix the issue, but this thing. But in that case, I won't be able to. Uh, what I can say, I won't be able to fetch the this image. A request form. Okay. So update product, put not manager, data. Okay, do it. Update again. Bad request. Let's go to the request. It says Yeah, this coming because I'm trying to submit this image. Okay, I guess I need to restart the system. Um, cool, jet. Oh, okay. This one is okay. I'll just do one thing. I'll stop this application. Okay, and I'll also stop this Redis server. Exit. Mm, okay. Start the application. Let's. Since we're using this. Trying to update this product. I'll try to update the category. And the reason, like the issue which we are facing, is the same. Like you when you did product, when you submit a multi data type data, I mean images and text, you can't mention this application JSON since it's not JSON. And if you're passing JSON, then you can mention JSON. So let's try to do it. Okay. Try to update the category itself. I'll log out. Log out again. Yeah. Yeah. This the application. Yeah. Just log out. Log in. Submit. And okay. These things will help you to debug your code. Okay. You can use the same approach. Okay. ID is not defined. It's again the TDS stuff. Okay. I'll fix this. I'll try to fix this issue. Okay. It says something. This ID is not defined and ID is not defined in the so for that I'll just go to the edit category component. Okay, and let's see, the moment I'm calling this edit in the dashboard. Okay, dashboard has this edit. Let's go to admin app. Okay, yeah, this is the edit category, edit button. What I'm trying to do, I'm passing this category ID, but it's saying like this ID is not defined. Okay. ID is not defined in the category. Okay, it's all right. Yeah, obviously this ID is not defined because we haven't defined this category anywhere in the template. Yeah, it's not there. Okay. Instead of what we are doing here in the parent component, I'm I'm accessing this thing, this category from the store and passing this name, printing name, and I'm writing this one. So I need to pass this. I won't like this category is defined. I'm iterating on the category in the dashboard component, but I'm trying to get the category in this over here. Okay, so let's do it. What you can do, you can pass the ID again. This is your parent component. This dash compo is the parent component, and this one is your edit category. Sorry, this this admin app is your children component. Since mm, I'm using this dashboard component. Is a dashboard okay, sorry, admin. This dashboard I'm using in the admin component. Okay, so uh this this is the children of this dash component. Or it's trying to inherit the dash component. Okay, so I'll pass this. You can pass a variable to the yeah you can pass the variable uh, to your to the template which is trying to inherit you to your children. Okay, so let's pass this. How you pass? You mention this in the slot itself. uh I'll write right id itself. Okay, id. Since it's a unique, okay, let me check. Okay, I have the reference. There's a way to pass it. Okay, move this one. Let's go to dash dash compo, and here you can pass it like, yeah, you pass this category id this way in this slot. Okay, and how you can access? You pass this category id this way, and you access the same thing in your children component. Okay, so in children you use the uh props, admin dash, not props. You can this way. You can uh, you can fetch the data which the property which you are passing uh, to your children. You can have it like this. So it's like it's become unique. Since this button is unique, so it's becoming unique for each button, for each product which are we are able to see over here. Now this category id is there. Now I can use this category id directly. Okay, now it's done. Now I'll just reload the application. There are some errors. The which file? Okay, I'll ignore this. It says in the admin app. The error. Uh, okay. List. Okay, list item. Okay, there's one list is missing. That's why it's showing the error. Yeah. Now I think the issue it won't throw the error. This error is gone. Yeah, it's gone. Now let's try to edit. Okay, it's not. Okay, slash id. Okay, get id. It's not found. Admin cat id /1. Okay. The moment I clicked on id in the admin dashboard, the method edit category. Oh yeah, it should be slash. I missed the slash, extra slash over here. And in the router, okay, in the router, you can see, let's go to admin. Admin has this admin cat edit /id. And from the URL, we can see it's edit then id without any backslash. So that was the reason. I'll reload it again. Okay. And let's click on edit. Oh, again, the coming the same thing. Edit category. Edit cat /. Okay. Oh yeah, it's not even incomplete. Okay, over here. Sorry. Uh, this is like verifying to if we are currently in the same path or not. If we are not in the same path, then we will get redirected. Edit. Yeah, fruits. Now, okay. I wanted to show you how reactive is this. Like the moment I'll update, you will able to see the this changes quickly without reloading the application. That is called reactive application. Like wherever you any states of your application changes, it reflects quickly on the UI of the application. So I'll just In the fruit, I'll just make it jet something so that you can see it. Are you sure? It's like the confirmation. It's recommended from the document from the problem state. See, it's changed. Without reloading, I'm able to see this change. Okay. So okay, now this was the complete uh, flow of the application. Okay. You do some action on your front end, it makes a call to the backend server, and uh, based on the result, whether the task is successful or not, it return a proper response. Okay. So I hope through this debug, you got some idea like what I was trying to do, like how this editing happens. Later, I'll fix this edit option of this uh, product. Right now, we are not able to update. So even we are not able to delete. I guess, let's
So
suppose I'll try to, yeah.
I okay. So in the category bar, the edits
Hmm.
are the edit option is connected with the words like fruits, vegetables. So can we align those edits or something like the way it has been done in the app bar?
Which one? Aber?
Yeah, yeah. Right now your cursor is on the edit, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, but that edit is adjacent to the word like beverages,
Oh,
dairy, vegetable. So can we create a gap between them and all? How to do that?
yeah, yeah. It's just the UI you can create. You can bind the this design to the name itself. For example,
Oh,
you yeah. It's Can you see this edit
yes, yes,
over here?
yes.
So I've created the separate button. Let's do one thing in the over here in the with the name. Okay, here's the name.
Yeah, yeah,
I can do one thing. I can define this category function
yeah.
in that component itself. Okay, I can define this in this component itself. Let's do it. But there's a reason why I'm using separate button. I'll explain later. I'll explain you. I'll just show you how you can do it. Okay, this edit cat is there, and I'll
Yeah.
remove this edit cat. I remove this button from there from here.
Hmm.
Even I won't don't want to define this slot,
Hmm.
and I came back and okay, this edit category. Now I'll do one thing over here itself. I'll bind this function. Uh, yeah. So I'll bind this at the rate click. Okay. So I can write at the rate click, not this one. At the rate click this and bind this, and let's pass this category ID. That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
So this being done in the admin dashboard only as of now, like not admin dashboard, in the main dashboard.
Main
This
dashboard. Yeah.
dashboard, yeah, this sidebar, navbar, and this entire place is the
Hmm.
basic layout of all the dashboard, whether it's admin, manager, or user. Okay,
Hmm.
now let's
Yeah.
reload the application. I hope. Uh, okay, there's something wrong. Okay, let's check. Okay, it's an issue from the token in admin dot somewhere in the file. Okay, in admin, is there anything wrong? No. Dashboard component. No. Category ID. Oh yeah, this one is the missing. I need to close this double quotes. Reload. Yeah. Now, see, can you see this cursor is not pointing as a link?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but it will work. See, it's coming to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, you can change to pointer. Just write a inline CSS. Like you write the CSS like styling. Uh, cursor pointer. That's it. So now you'll see this pointing as a
Yep.
link. It was like seems to be confusing. Like I mapped this name to this filter by category. So that's the reason I have written an extra word edit in the in this next to the name itself.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. If you wish, you can change it, change this design. Okay. Maybe some button you can change like pointer, or you can change right. Let's write button something. Button is the keyword from Bootstrap. Okay. All the styling from Bootstrap is being implemented with the help of this class concept. Uh, Class CSS in okay in the Bootstrap. Okay, button is the correct keyword or not? Yeah, it's the correct keyword. Let's go to component buttons, and yeah, it says button. Okay, type should be button and class should be btn. So like
Yep.
right
BTN.
btn only. Btn. Now change it to yeah, button something, and outline primary something you can change. See, it says button primary. Okay, let's write primary. Yeah, it's button now. So those things you can do. You can play with Bootstrap and you can change it as per your understanding or as per your wish.
Uh,
Okay, this was a
I have a
complete like this. Yeah.
yeah. So, can you share these templates, matlab, overall those projects with us?
It's already shared, I guess. Okay, this complete application. Yeah. So see, just a second. Let's stop this. So yesterday I mentioned that I'm working on a project. This tutorial, like this bootcamp, not this bootcamp. Yeah, this uh, bootcamp application where I'm implementing all this tutorial with concepts wise with the complete application development. Uh,
You are launching next week, no?
yeah,
Next week.
yeah.
Whether in that
So
tutorial, all the theoretical part is also included, only boot camp is there.
no, so it's like you will have the complete application. You'll learn how to like from the scratch. You'll learn how to create any application, all the previous statement like grocery app. I'm planning to push all these tutorials for all the almost all the applications like ticket show, grocery app, library and all.
Okay,
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 so far
okay.
whatever. And
Yeah, it
in
will be
along with
fine.
this
It will be
tutorial, yeah, along with this tutorial, I'm planning to like I'm planning to implement. You not only complete your project, you get the concept as well. Like first you learn the
yeah,
concept, then you
yeah.
know like why we are using this concept and where we are using
That's
this concept in our
that's
application.
why
That's the yeah.
that's why I'm asking, because what happens is that in our theoretical part, we are
Mm,
focusing on the question and answer to just write in the quiz one, quiz two, and enter my examiner. I get the marks and pass it on. Okay. When we
yeah,
pass it, then we are not conversant with all the things which are being implemented practically.
yeah,
But only
yeah,
part of that is being used, not all, but only part of that is being used in the project. What
mm,
I expect in the your tutorial, that
mm,
at least the parts which are being exactly used, part by part. Suppose flash security is there, there is small
mm.
part of tutorial for the fast security exactly the same which has been used in our project, and what is the reminder of
Yeah,
our
yeah,
project.
Yeah, exactly. That
Because
I'm
a
exactly
lot of
that's my
things.
plan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if it is there, no, it will be very helpful for the other student because this is a model. We are just
yeah,
opting in the our course model. This course model is, I think, very good adapted in our in this app development.
yeah.
So
So
if it
yeah,
is
that's a yeah. It's very
So
important. You not only learn this copy and pasting thing. You should know what's the logic, what's the concept.
yeah, yeah,
That's the
then
important. Yeah,
then only we will be able to use the another project, another thing. No?
yeah.
Suppose we
Mm.
are just
It's,
copying and pasting and doing that, it will not be possible.
yeah.
This one is
So
very good. I copied it,
yeah,
but we
so
will
my
launch now.
question is, sir, so how what you were saying that you're launching in it something. So
yeah.
as I yesterday I was not able to join. So can you please say how to access that? So
No,
whether
it's
that is
right now it's not
the
accessible.
one IITM bootcamp we
If
have registered for, that one is only that one, or it is something different?
It's something different. It's like the my contribution or something.
Oh,
Okay, it's
okay, okay,
not related to this ITM.
okay. So
will it be paid also?
No, I'll keep it open. Like it's like
Okay,
open zone, not any
okay.
payment or anything. It's
And only
like
for
my
the
plan is
students.
to yeah, my plan is
On,
to uh integrate with the POD portal, the Viva portal itself.
very nice, very
So
nice.
I'm in progress with instructors. Later uh I had a discussion. So first I need to complete this project, and this
Thank
okay,
you.
most probably this
Very nice.
application will get integrated with Viva portal.
okay.
Mhm.
As you are starting in the next week, so how to, can you share the link or something how to get access of that?
You'll receive an announcement.
Okay, 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 okay. Thank you.
You just of Sachin, then you
Yeah,
will be get informed on the LinkedIn. Am I right now?
yeah. I'll
Yeah,
also
it will be
publish
better.
on the LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, it will be better. And whether it will be accessible to the out of the IITM
No,
arena or the only
initially
the.
I'll keep it within our organization, like within the student email ID. Since
Okay, fine.
I'm
Okay.
in discussion with the instructor, so that's my that's a thing. Like it will be only available for this ITM students,
Okay.
BS
Yeah, it will be
students.
better
Yeah,
if it's exclusive.
Your
yeah,
BSc is complete, na? BS complete.
uh, yeah. I'm in BS
Okay.
level only.
Okay, BS level. Okay. Thank you. It will be very helpful because you have also faced all these problems, no? So you will be able
Yeah.
to explore the problems what we are facing. At least
Mhm.
keep in mind that the students who are following the, I
Yeah,
think 50% of the students are out of this IT sector. So they are not.
yeah,
So the basic structure, basic things is also required to be learned. At least that will be available in a short tutorial. Everything to search into the go to the YouTube is very difficult for the professionals like me.
correct, correct.
That's why I'm asking if you are doing hard, working hard on this now. This is also required for this IT online students.
Yeah, it's like yes, that's
Maybe
why uh, I
maybe we
plan
can
to
stop the
yeah,
recording.
yeah.
Uh,
Abhishek,
maybe we can stop the recording and then discuss. It's over
Okay,
now,
yeah,
okay,
we'll
everything.
discuss it later. Yeah.
okay, fine. Let us
Uh,
continue. We will discuss later. Okay.
okay, let's back to the topic. Okay.
Yeah,
So
please.
this is the way you can change your like UI. Okay, changing UI is the depends on the bootstrap. Uh like you can play with the bootstrap. Okay. So this was the complete flow of the front end to the back end. Okay. Now coming to I'll just show you some code of the backend. It's similar to the Flask. Okay, whatever we have done in Mad1. So in the back end, earlier in the MAD one, what we have done, we were creating some routers, and we were returning some templates. Okay, this response as a template in the response. Okay, in MAT 2, since in the CDN approach, what we do, we return a JSON response. Instead of returning template, all your HTML codes, you return only the data. Since template rendering is happening in the client side itself, so you're only supposed to return the data. Okay, index store.
In which part it is being returned here in this project?
Sorry.
In which part of this code the JSON
Hmm.
data is being returned from the CDN?
Yeah. Just a second. Yeah, I'm going to explain this. See,
Okay, okay.
everywhere I'm making this API call request. Fetch categories, fetch products. The name itself is self-explanatory. Like it's like fetch categories, all the products, all the orders, all the items. The moment you calling this fetch categories, sorry, yeah, this fetch categories, okay,
Okay.
this fetch categories, I'll go to my backend server, I'll search for this URL. So it's like I'm not creating any like without adding external extended Flask library. What we are doing in the same router, whatever we have used in our MAD1 app.route, ignoring this one, this caching part. Okay, ignore this caching part.
This is the path and method, right? Whatever
Yeah,
it is with it.
get method. You can see it, we have mentioned this method as get, and then header,
Okay.
and the token we are passing in the in the authorization header.
Yeah.
Okay.
Local storage. Handles.
Now, okay. No, the same thing. What I'm doing, I'm running this try and cache. What I'm doing, getting all category from the database, creating a list of categories. Okay, and you can see I'm returning JSONify data. This is a list of dictionaries. Can you see this dictionary?
Yeah.
I'm
Categories list
appending
is a
into the
list.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very simple. Since we know this, JSON is just like the dictionary. Like
And
dictionary is
I,
somewhat similar like the JSON format. So
mm,
the moment we are passing this JSONify, it's converting this list of dictionary as a JSON data. And by default, whenever you return any data from the Flask without mentioning this JSONify, it returns the data by converting it into the JSON. It's a default, and you can mention it
okay. If you
explicitly.
don't JSONify, then still it will return in JSONify format.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's like the complete cycle where where we'll create these routers, do the operations, all the logics, the pre-processing or like not pre-processing. Like if it's a search related operation, then you filter the data based on your like keyword, and then you return the filtered result as a JSON response. And the same data, can you see this ID name is the same dictionary, which is uh, getting assigned to the set categories, and set categories is setting it to the state categories object. And now this categories is being accessed in the template. Okay, and we know from the backend we are returning category which is having two attributes, name and ID from the backend. name and ID. We're passing ID, yeah, name and ID. That's the only cycle. So this is the complete cycle of this front end to back end journey. Okay, like we are making a request to the back end and getting it from the front end. So this is all about like the complete front end back. Okay, so there's no, I guess there's nothing more to discuss. It's like similar to the Flask. Okay, and in the Mad one, what you do, you uh, instead of your JSON response, or you return the template. You create template, HTML templates. You populate with the data, and you return. You write render template and your template in Mad one. The concepts are same. Okay. Now, coming to the additional part of the MAT2, it requires the setup of backend jobs. Okay. Now, I'll tell you. So, this is all about so far all the CRUD operations in MAT2. Okay. The same cycle you will be following. Okay. One thing that we will be doing over here is the adding this token based authentication. For token based authentication, we'll be using Flask JWT extended. It's a lightweight security mechanism framework for Flask application, which helps you to create the token. Okay, and you return this token to the login call from the front end, and you save this token in the browser local storage. I'll go to local storage. You can see token. This token is basically this token which is being returned from the backend server. Now from the next call, like further call, where you want to protect your resources, you mention this JWT required. It's the same feature, the same thing which we are doing in the mad one with the help of security. Like you set up system and you use decorator to protect your resources. The same thing we are doing in JWT using JWT extended and using this decorator. The only thing which is not there in JWT is the role authentication, whether he is an admin, user or not. For that, what you can do, you can create a custom decorator. You can write custom decorator. So that's why what I was saying, decorator is the key or heart of the uh, Python frameworks. It's a key concept of the most of the Python frameworks. So what we do, we created a decorator, custom decorator, user defined decorator. There, what I'm verifying, if the current user is having this role or not. I'm passing list of roles. It should be list. You can see manager admin can only access this creating category. Passing the list of roles and verifying if the current user has role which is there in the list of roles or not. If it's there, then only I'm allowing this user to access the resource. Else I'm returning you are not authorized. Your role is not authorized. This is the decorator. Now this decorator I'm using. I imported on the main application where I've created all the routers. Okay, and I'm using it. Okay. It's like again, instead of using Flask security or some external extended Flask frameworks, I've defined my own decorator and I'm using that one. And in Mad one, the same decorator is being provided by Flask security. So it's like it reduces your efforts. It saves your time. You're not supposed to define this decorator role required. But here I had like I had to define, since JWT doesn't provide this role required. You can you can use Flask security here as well, but it's like Flask security is having rich features. Okay, it has huge number of features, and its implementation is quite complex with this front end and back end concept. So that's the reason we use this for the simplicity. We use as a beginner, we use JWT extended. Now
What is
that's
JWT exactly?
JWT extended.
What, which library is this JWT?
It's again a Flask extended library. It's
The Flask extended library.
yeah.
Flask
So
JWT.
just the way we have Flask security,
Particular,
Flask
parti-
SQL alchemy.
yeah, particularly meant for the security only, no?
Yeah, yeah. And for the Flask application, all the Flask application with uh like all the application which is being designed, whose backend is being designed by the Flask framework.
Okay, this will work on the Flask framework only, which the application
Yeah,
is
that's why
designed
that's
by
why the
the.
name is Flask JWT extended.
Okay.
Why they have added this Flask?
JWT is short form of something. It is a abbreviation or just.
Yeah, JavaScript web tokens.
Okay, tokens based. Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now coming to the backend jobs. Now, other than these CRUD operations in Mat 2, you're supposed to do additional stuff. Like you're using WhatsApp, and your WhatsApp, if you turned off your data connection, okay, and if your phone is switched off, and the moment you switch on your phone and connect to the internet, you received all the notifications. Just a second. Yeah, sorry. Uh, okay. You received all your notifications, so it's basically the task of the microservices. Okay, instead of your main application, you have your main application Flask server. You don't uh you don't want to overload the server. Okay, you don't want to uh assign all the tasks related with your service to this single server. Instead of that, you create small separate application, which is called microservices, to support your entire application. Okay, you create some small microservices. So what do you think? This Instagram or WhatsApp, they're not running on a single server. They have their main single server, but there are many microservices running which is supporting this entire WhatsApp or Instagram, like receiving, sending
What
notification, sending emails,
what type of services we call microservices?
like performing single task. Like you create
Um,
some task, like you created a microservice which is sending the reminder email. You created a
Okay.
microservice or application which sending the notifications. So those are called
Got it.
microservices, where like creating a single function or one or two function. You call them microservices.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Yeah. So same in the mat2 problem statement, we are supposed to have the send have the feature of sending daily reminders, and then monthly report, generating report. Basically, these three tasks.
Got it.
Okay. Now, coming to sending daily reminder over email. Yeah, anything? Are you saying something?
Got it. No, no, got it. My question is-
So, sending email. See, we have our email, student email ID, Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo. So, since we are doing the local development and it's just a toy application, there are toys or tools available which you can use to taste your feature, to implement your feature. And for that, to sending email, we use Mailhawk. This Mailhawk is a tool, is again a software application which you install on your WSL and you start this. It provides an interface just like Gmail. I'll show you. Since I have already installed, this is the official document resource to install Mailhawk server. Install Mailhawk server. Okay. And let's start this. I'll open a WSL server. To start this, there's a command, go bin this one. You copy this command, you run this. You can see it's saying it's running some application on this port. Let's open this. Okay. It will throw error. It's like there's an issue with this tool. You need to change this to localhost. See, this is an interface. Can you see this is a local application which we are running locally? This is the way we are trying to create our Flask, this grocery app. Someone has already created this Malloc server, and Malloc server, when you start Malloc server locally, you get this interface. Now, this will help you to test whether you have implemented your mailing feature correctly or not. Before this is the one tool. The second tool required is the Redis server. Redis server is an in-memory database. Okay, you you define some asynchronous task. Obviously, asynchronous task will take some time to get executed. So you want to create some asynchronous task, and this task will get stored to this Redis server. And this since Redis server is a in-memory database, so whatever piece of code running, whatever program running on your system will be able to see this data which is available in memory, the function which is available in memory. That's why we use this Redis server in memory database as our message broker. He's a broker. Like you want to pass a message to me, you write an email to me, you send an email, I receive the email, I got the information. This email is a broker. You can assume this is a broker, a mediator. So this Redis is a mediator or broker which will take a task and it will execute. It will pass to the workers. Okay. Like let's suppose I am the owner. I I'll hire like broker or like someone who takes tender or something. I'll ask him. I'll assign some task to him, and I'll like I can mention some deadline or something. Now this the broker is responsible for hiring workers and getting our task done. So the same thing, this Redis is the broker, and it's again a separate application which we have already started. The moment I started this Redis server, sorry, not Quizmaster. Okay, I'll switch to, yeah. In the in the beginning, I started this server. This is again a application. Again an application just like malloc. That's why you'll see Redis CLI. What it says? Localhost 120.0.0 port. It's again the application which is running over here. So it's like in-memory database. Now, next thing we need, now we have the broker. Okay. Now, broker requires some workers. Workers means
In
again a
in
separate
memory
process.
in memory database means
Hmm. It's
database in our local machine.
no, it's the database is getting created in the RAM of the memory, RAM of the system. You know, any program, any code you write, it's getting executed with the help of this
Local
main
system.
memory. Yeah,
Local
RAM.
system you are talking. Okay, RAM.
Yeah, yeah, RAM. You understand RAM.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So RAM is the memory where this program get executed. Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
this database is getting created on the RAM itself, not in your secondary storage devices like ROM or the database somewhere, hard disk. Okay. The database is creating in the RAM itself. Now, uh, yeah. Now okay. This server is running. This broker is running Redis server, and this malloc server is running. Now I'm gonna create some workers. So to create, since workers are the persons who execute tasks, such tasks which are asynchronous, and for that we require separate framework which is called Celery. Celery is a Python framework which helps you to create microservices or create separate terminals or workers which will be active and take your task, and it will execute and it will return you the result of your task, whatever you assigned. So you'll have to install Celery, and Celery requires some yeah. Can you see this transport or backends? Actually, Celery requires some message broker. Celery will treat this message broker as a storage or the person to whom it will interact. Celery will get some task through the broker, and will execute the task, and it will return the result to the broker itself. Okay.
And
So
this
this is the
broker is platform
always active.
agnostic. Yeah, platform agnostic. On the all the
Yeah.
platforms it will work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now there are multiple in-memory database, other database are available, tools like brokers are available, but Redis we are choosing. It's like easy and it's recommended by the instructor.
Okay.
Okay, you can explore more, and it's
It is
Redis is also
this is in our course, no? So we are focusing
yeah.
on this only.
Hmm. So you mentioned this. You install Redis. I mean Celery. Just writing the command uh, like this. Okay, I'll just write the command. You write this pip install Celery, or you write mention this. Make sure you pass this Redis in the option such that it recognizes that Celery should also install Redis as a message broker. Now it will install this Redis in the Celery framework itself. I'll show you in the requirement.txt Redis. Can you see this Redis? The reason I
Mm.
mentioned this Redis in the
Right.
Celery. So this is the way to
Mm.
install Redis. Now you need to set up the Celery the way we have set up flash security Flask, SQL Alchemy, every extend, since you are adding some external additional framework, so you need to configure it with your application. So it's the simplest way. Okay. And those microservices we call backend jobs. That's why I've created this backend jobs folder. And here I create, see, I'm importing Redis, I'm in Celery and current Flask application, and I'm passing the application context, app context in the Celery. I'm creating the, like, I want to pass the context of the Flask application to this Celery app. Celery is again a separate application. Okay. Now, why I'm passing this context? So that whatever configuration I'll write on the application itself, Celery can read all this configuration. Can you see this? I've written some configuration. Celery broker URL, Celery result backend. These are the result backend. See, on Redis, this 1, 2 indicates separate database. So in the Redis server, I've created one database with the ID 1 and second database with ID 2, where all the results will get stored, and here all the tasks will get stored. And this is the time zone. Like, let's suppose you schedule some task and you specified some time. Let's suppose you want to send the daily reminder around 8 p.m. every day. If a student is not, I mean, the user is not active. So in such cases, we require some time setting up, scheduling the task. So we mentioned it should be Indian standard. Since we are doing the development in the Indian style, Indian standard only. That's why we are passing this Asia Kolkata. So this is the configuration. I've written all this configuration in the app itself, but I want to pass all this configuration to our Celery. That's why I'm passing the context of the Flask application to our Celery app. Now this is done, and then you can see I've created this workers. Workers are actually the workers who will perform the task. So I'll just show you from workers, backend jobs. Okay, backend jobs. I'm importing workers. You can write the name of the file itself. It will import everything. Or instead, I've written this workers. Sorry, workers salary. Okay. Yeah, I'm importing this worker. So everything is get imported. Like, I imported the module itself. Okay. Now, after this application creation, GWT integration, database creation, whatever we have done in MAD1, creating the admin credential, whatever the same we have done in MAD1. This is the Redis configuration. Yeah, we create a salary object. This is the way we create Flask object. We create salary object. Okay. Now again, I'm updating to confirming myself. Uh, if anyway, if it skips this configuration, I'll again confirm updating the configuration. So this is the safety of your Flask salary configuration. So again, I'm repeating the same task. Okay. But again, you can see instead of writing all this backend URL and broker URL, what I'm doing, I'm not actually reading this, passing this value. I've already passed this value to the Flask application. So I'm reading the configuration from the Flask app. That's why I've written app.config salary backend result backend. It will ultimately return this value, assign this value to this configuration update, salary config update. Now this setup is done. Okay. Only thing, again, you may face this out of context issue.
In the line
So
number
I'm passing
75,
this.
76, from the line number
Yeah.
75 to 78, these
Yeah.
names broker URL result backend, and we have given the name right
Hmm.
now. This name can
This
be
one.
anything.
No,
Left
no, no,
side.
no, no. No, you can't have it anything.
No, not this
Eh,
one. Broker
Yeah.
URL. No, no, just
Which
line
one?
number 75, 75, 76, 77, 78.
Yeah.
The the variables on the left side. The
Hmm.
name of the variable broker URL. We
Hmm.
have given the name left side, left, not right side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can, here you can write anything. You can name anything, but
Salary
it's like
broker
recommended from the document.
this salary broker URL,
Hmm.
what you have selected, this is the keyword,
Hmm.
no? Right? Or
Yeah.
we can
It's
write
just a variable,
where we have
like
defined this
key.
variable.
We have defined over here in the moment we created this Flask app,
Okay.
we
Yeah.
added this on the configuration of the Flask app.
No, no, can we change broker, the name salary underscore broker underscore URL here in the line number 53, the name,
Hmm.
where is the origin of this string?
Yeah. You can name it anything. As of
Okay.
now, in this configuration, you can write this XYZ.
Okay. That's why I'm
No
asking.
issue.
Okay. This is the place where we have written the name. Just for
Yeah.
understanding, we have
Yeah.
given this name. Okay.
Yeah. It's like I have created some global variables in the
Mhm.
configuration of the Flask app.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, I'll access the same thing over here, but you can't do the same thing with other, like over here. You can't do this.
That's why I'm asking you which one is a variable we have created here and which is not.
Hmm.
How to define, how to understand. We have defined here
Okay.
and these are
Okay.
the
To
keywords
to
already
keep it
important.
okay. To keep it simple, let's see.
Yeah.
All these keywords I haven't
Mm.
defined it my own. All it's being taken from the document, and
Okay.
all these keywords has its meaning why we are using it. So better to follow the document. So this salary broker URL and all, it's basically defined in the over here itself. I'll
Okay.
show you.
Okay.
Okay. uh,
Customary words,
it-
strings are required to be used. Customary
yeah.
words.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
Next.
Mm.
Okay.
What you mean to say? Documentations must be used properly.
Yeah. The
Right. Huh?
reason, since the same variable may be used in the internal implementation of the
Mm.
framework. So that's the reason. You are
It is
using this.
better.
Yeah. You're using this keyword like registrable or something in Flask security. You're using this. They have defined this keyword so that they have their implementation in their framework. That's why they are asking you to have the same name.
Mhm.
Okay.
Whatever framework
That's
we
the
are using, it
hmm.
is better to use the customary name, whatever
Ah,
been used in the documentation, so that
hmm.
others can also understand the code. Right now, this is the
Yeah,
purpose.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And also the internal
Uh,
implementation of the framework has these definitions and requires these variables.
correct, correct. When we will copy it, it will work properly. Suppose we are
Yeah.
copying some code from the documentation, then it will fetch like that. Right
Hmm.
now.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. All
Correct.
the instructions are written on the document itself.
Correct. Okay. Thank you. Please.
Okay, now pushing this. Okay, ignoring this caching part. Okay, now it's done. Now what I'll do, it's done. I'll create some task. This is a task. So in the task, what I'm doing, I'm importing this salary. Salary got the configuration from the Flask app. Now I created some task, and these tasks are daily reminder, monthly report, and user asynchronous. This is like you triggered admin will trigger some task. Since the task is very complex, it's time consuming, so it will run in the background. That's why it's a asynchronous, and that's why we are assigning this task to the salary, the backend jobs, the microservices. Since it's a tedious, time consuming task, if we'll add this task to our main Python server, it can hang our application. Let someone click on this, trigger this task from the browser. Since this task is time consuming, so server will keep hanging there until the task gets finished. So that's the reason we create microservices. We assign this task to tasks this to this microservices. So our main server is running and user will have a smooth experience without lag. Okay, let's suppose you open Amazon, you click on add to cart, and since this add to cart is it's a microservice, it's implement the changes into the database through the microservice. Let's suppose they have implemented in the same main server. In that scenario, you may face some lagging, showing loading and loading on your browser, and that will that will be a bad experience for the user. So that's why we create microservices. So this is the task where I'm generating the report from the database. I'm getting all the data from the database. I'm creating a CSV file. Okay, and I'm returning it uh, to the admin so that admin can see the report. Now this daily reminder, let's suppose there are users who are not active, they are not checking out the new products. So in that case, I would like to send the emails. Okay, to the all the inactive user. Now, who are inactive? It depends on your logic. You can implement your own logic. You can keep track when someone is logging, when he has logged in for the last time, the date and time, and based on that, you can filter out and you can send the daily reminder. Same monthly report at the month of the first day of every month. Now since these are the tasks which are scheduled tasks, so I'm scheduling this task, daily reminder and monthly report, and this I've created just for simplicity to check if my scheduling is working fine or not. So it's like around 13, around 1 p.m., 1:50 p.m. monthly entertainment report to the user, first day of the month, and each month, like 1st January, 1st February, only once in a month, which is the first day of the month. This is like 29, like 9 p.m. each day. Since we haven't mentioned any day, so it's like every day. Every day I will check all the inactive users. I will send the reminder, and this I've created so that it's sending the this daily reminder every minute to check if my uh, application, this setup is working fine or not. So this is the complete setup of your backend jobs. Now I'm going to start backend jobs. Now to start the backend jobs, you're not supposed to run your backend server. That doesn't matter whether your backend server is running or not running. It does not affect your microservices, since microservices are independent of your backend server. So you can stop your backend server, you can only start your microservices. So this plus Redis server is running this. Okay, yeah. Where's the my Malog? Okay, I have started Malog over here. Okay, you can start since it's globally installed. So you can start anywhere. Okay. Now I'll do one thing. I won't start the backend server. I'll just start the uh, Malog. Okay. So go in. Melog. Melog started. Now I'll start workers. Now, since starting workers, salary workers, you need to write this command. So first you need to activate the virtual environment, then you start the Redis salary workers. So I've written again the same, all the commands in a single file, and I'll start the file itself. Instead of writing the command one by one, I'll just call this file. So I'll write local workers. It will activate the workers, will start the workers. Okay. Now, since we started in a separate, it's a separate terminal. It's not dependent on the backend server. So it's like the workers running. Now, to start a timer, okay, you need to start timer since you have some scheduled task. So for that, salary requires to start salary beat in a, again separate terminal. So for that, I've created this salary beat. Again, the same command. This is the way we have this workers. Yeah. Salary minus dash app salary workers local info. Same we have salary beat. See, instead of worker, I'm writing beat. Beat is a timer which will start a timer and your scheduled task will get executed at the specified time. So, see, here you can say it binded all these three tasks daily reminder, monthly report, or synchronous, whatever we have defined in the task.py. Now, I'll start this. I'll show you the malloc server. Right now, we have no emails. Nothing is there. Now, the moment I'll start the salary beat, start executing this task. It will start executing this task, which is each minute. I mean, every minute. And even you'll see this beat will push the task to workers and workers will execute the task and return the result. So now this beat is able to see, can you see sending due task daily reminder, my quick check, my daily check, whatever. Okay. Yeah, my daily task. Okay, yeah, my quick check task, this one, and sending to the server. Now it's received the task and executed and return success. See, actually this is submitting the task in the queue which is being maintained by the Redis server. Now these workers are actively looking into the queue of this Redis server and picking out the task and executing it. Okay. So you can see the emails, this daily reminder. It's like the formatting. You'll get the okay. One thing I need to explain. Actually, you're using malloc. Okay, you have implemented this mailing feature. So for that, again, it requires an external framework, Flask framework, which is Flask Mail. So you'll have to install Flask Mail. You'll have to do this setup, and then you can import this Flask Mail on your backend jobs file. Yeah, message. You are calling this mail factory you have imported from the send mail and mail factory. You have created this mail factory and in your send mail. Okay. So that's a way, like that's how we have implemented Flask Mail, and that's why we are able to receive these emails. Yes. So this was the complete mat 2. You got the idea of components, routers, why do we use view store, okay, and what are backend jobs. Now I'll do one thing. I'll stop this schedule task. I'll st- I'll start my application, and sorry, uh, I want to show you. I want to trigger this task. Since this is a task, so I'll have to create a button which will trigger this task. So in the admin.py, okay, I have created a router, get report data, and here what I'm doing, this backend jobs, from the backend jobs, I've imported this user triggered async job, and I'm calling this. Whenever admin will click on this, call on this request, this asynchronous job will get executed. So let's app is running, 8 phrase, log out. Okay. Since the session expired, I'll go to slash app, login as admin, stats, and there is like view or download. This is the reason I've created this no content. Maybe something wrong. Okay, it says unauthorized. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'll reload. Okay, stats. Okay, let's see what says. Okay, authorization header. It says you're missing authorization order. Okay, this is like protected now. So I'll have to pass the this report. So I'll go to component. Let's suppose start component. I must have created some component report components. Okay. See, it has these two buttons which you are able to see, view and download, view and download. It's calling this queue. So here I need to pass the authorization header. Okay. Is it get? Go to this one. It's get. And then I'll pass the headers, content type, and this authorization header. This one was missing. I'll reload this application, not go to this. I'll reload. Let's see if backend is running or not. Yeah, backend is still running. Okay. Oh, okay, sorry. There's one mistake. I need to put comma. Login, login, starts, view. Yeah, it came. All the report. And you can see it's calling this report data. And report data is being defined. Get report data is being defined over here. And it's triggering this async job. And even you can check on your workers. See, this is the workers which executed this asynchronous job. So this is the like user triggered async job. That's it. So that's it. All about the mat2 application, the entire application. Yeah, the same line of code, same thing we have in CLI approach as well. Okay. But CLI, in CLI, instead of one server, we have two servers. Okay. One is for like uh, two servers. We have separate front end, separate back end. Sudo service redis server stop. Okay. So in second approach, this CLI approach, okay, just go to exit, delete, and I'll open the second approach. So here in this CLI approach, it's the same line of code, same lines of code, but you create separate two application. It's the front end, back end, and front end, and you run both on different servers. And here you create, it has the proper front end application layout, SRC. And don't get confused how I have created all this layout and all. It's by default. It's create by default. You're supposed to run this commands. That's it. You'll go to this white. Okay. To create your view project. The moment you run this command, this is the name of your app, and this is the command. Make sure you install Node.js on your machine and white, and then you can use white to create. The moment you run this entire structure layout of the front end will get populate, and now you can add the same create same components, routers, stores. These are some additional JavaScript, okay, which I'm using. And yeah, but here we are using the extension .view. View is a special kind of view framework specific file where you have where you can write all the three things in a single file. This is called single file component, SFC. You can write your HTML, you can write CSS, you can write your JavaScript. Sorry, it's not. Yeah. See, that's why in Vue we call it a single file component. In a single Vue file, you can write your HTML, you can write your CSS, you can write your JavaScript. So this template is HTML, JavaScript, script is the JavaScript, style is CSS. And same code, whatever I've written in the CDN approach, same I'm writing over here. What I'm just replacing, I'm replacing all the templates option over here and all the methods in the same over here, and the CSS I can have over here, but for the simplicity I'm using this bootstrap itself, and it has the main view file. This the way we have index.html in the CDN approach. It has this main.js where we create this view app. We write this use router, use this and that, all the additional frameworks, and that's it. And this is a router view, the complete placeholder, the root app or the root placeholder where we will display all the components of our routers. This the same thing, but instead of this, instead of in a single application, we create separate application like front end, back end, and we started separately. So we go to back, we run local server, local run. But before running this local, I'll just start. Okay, I'll wait. Again, I'll have to start this sudo sudo service redis server start. and then I'll go to backend, local run. I'll go to front end. Okay, just a second. Is anything wrong? Yeah. Now I'll open backend, cd, front end, front. Here you need to run the command npm run dev. Again, these commands, all these instructions are mentioned in the document. Now you open this. Yeah, it's the same application. Same application running as a separate thing, like separate server. Can you see this? These are two separate origins or servers. It's running on localhost 5173. The backend is running on 5000, and backend is only serving the purpose of APIs. Yeah, APIs. I've used Flask RESTful API and created this API where I'm returning only the JSON response. Each uh, request is receiving a JSON response, and same connection, whatever we have done in MAT2, sorry, CDN, whatever we have done in CDN, same CLI. Okay. CLI is a rich approach feature, like it's like proper full stack development, and uh, in the CDN, it's like not proper. It's like you're integrating your all these static files in as a form of JavaScript in your Flask application itself. So in real full stack development, two different teams works on two different application, front end and back end. So that is all about for today's session. Uh, I'll do one thing.
Record
I'll
recording of
Yeah,
today's.
recording of today's session will be available again. I'll add both the recordings in the calendar itself, and
Okay.
Abhishek will also share all these links.
Uh,
Yeah,
the last recording I have already added in the calendar. For this recording, whenever I get the access,
Okay.
and I will upload it in the calendar. Same.
One
And you
question I
have
have.
the I will also upload that in the same channel, so you can subscribe to that channel.
If possible, kindly consider to share the files also that has been discussed for
This
Med 1 and Med 2
repo.
project.
yeah,
Yeah,
repository. Yeah, all all will be accessible. Okay, just as uh, uh, all will be available on the application which I'm gonna launch in the next week.
So
okay.
we will announce
So it
that.
will be in the next week only, right?
Yeah, you'll get everything. This repository and all the proper documentation step by step on the
O-
web, like on the app itself.
Okay, okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
One question I have here.